Hello everyone, welcome to LDC. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos. In this video, we will learn to develop or to generate topic and propose title for our action research. Yes po, action research. And for you not to forget the process in developing your research title or your research topic, just remember CDIP. What is CDIP? C stands for concern, D for data, I for intervention, and P for purpose. CDIP. So let us try my concern. Action research addresses problems that have long been affecting the performance or mastery learning of your students, or problems that have been affecting the learning experiences of your students. In conducting a research, you need to understand your problem. You need to know deeply the nature of your problem so it would be easy for you to identify a better intervention. At some point, maybe you have no problem. I mean, your class is doing great and everything ran smoothly. For example, you would say that your strategy in teaching is doing perfectly for many years. However, you need to remember that your strategies may no longer be relevant in the future. They need repair. They need some modification. They need change and they need adjustments just to stay relevant. That is what we call a challenge. A challenge that will keep you searching for what is something new that you can offer to your students. That is why you need to innovate, because you need to address the problem and the challenge. Now, if you already have truly understood your problem, the next step that you're going to do is to gather data to support your problem or your concern. In research, you just can't simply say that this is my problem without data that will justify your claim. If your class has issues or problems about mastery learning, then you need to support it with data. Once you already have data, the third step that you need to do is to look for intervention. The only thing that I can suggest if you still don't have any intervention is to read some literatures about your problem. Why? Because your problem may not be something new. Your problem may have been addressed by many research. So if you already have read literatures and have considered an intervention, you need to carefully study the intervention if it will work. Because if you think that it will not work, then you can or you may modify the intervention in the most applicable, in the most convenient, and in the most practical way. And finally, if you already have your intervention, then you must be cleared of your purpose. Why? Because your purpose will serve as your guide. Your purpose will be your gauge in measuring your amount of success in addressing your problem. This time, I will show you some examples on how to use my CDIP in generating or in developing topic or purpose proposed research title. For example, in the class, I have noticed that my students have shown some manifestations of stress. To determine if my students really have experienced stress, I need to conduct psychological stress test. Result of the test will be my primary data that will justify my claim that my students are experiencing stress. For me to deeply understand the nature of my problem, I need to read some literatures about stress. If possible, consider some of the interventions that were made to solve the problem. Let us presume that I have found an intervention, and that is contemporary dancing, which I think is applicable, convenient, and practical for my students. I say practical and applicable because my students can dance. All of them can dance. I don't need to have huge amount of money to realize my purpose, which is to reduce stress. And for me to develop my proposed research title, I need to consider TIP. Yes, TIP, as in T for target, I for intervention, and P for purpose. Based on the information I got, my proposed title would be Effects of Contemporary Dance in Reducing Psychological Stress. So what is my target? My target is to determine the effects. What will I use to determine its effect? I will use contemporary dance. And what is my purpose? My purpose is to reduce psychological stress. Let us have our second example. My concern, for example, are my students who have difficulty in adding polynomials. And this is revealed in the assessment. And since I have skill in drawing, I made comic strips which contain lessons and addition of polynomials. And the target of the intervention is somehow to improve the mastery level of the students. So, do you remember our tip? Target, intervention, and purpose. So, what is our target? Our target is improving. What intervention do we use? Comic strips. And what is our purpose? Our purpose is to improve the mastery level in addition of polynomials. And so the title of my proposed research would be Improving Mastery Level in Addition of Polynomials through Comic Strips. Now let us have another example. Remember that in our second slide, I made mention about challenges. And what I have said, you may not have any problem because everything works perfectly. But there is a challenge that you need to address, and that is to stay relevant in the future. Well, probably your concern is about the usual paper and pen assessment that you have in your class. There is no problem with it. No problem. But students seemed get used to it. And based on your assessment, your students are no longer serious in answering the assessment test. And so, you would like to introduce something new to your class. That is why you introduce Schoology, an online application where you can have your assessment. And your purpose is to check the mastery level of the students using Schoology. Again, using tip, target, intervention, and purpose, our proposed title would be Utilization of Schoology in Answering the Mastery Level of Students, wherein our target is to assess using Schoology as our intervention, and our purpose is to check the mastery level of students as our purpose. Well, I hope that after watching the video, you can generate your own topic or title for action research. Thank you again. Bye-bye. God bless.